So let us look at how we can determine the magnitude of a vector. Now, given a vector v is equal to ai plus bj, we can determine the magnitude of such a vector if we can represent it as follows. This is the y-axis. So here we are having A. This is along the x-axis. Now we are having B, which is along the y-axis. And the resultant vector V will be along that direction. You can call this capital V, and we call this small v. So our small v is the resultant vector. Now the magnitude of this vector, which you can write as in that form, is represented by the length of v. Now, how would we determine the length of v given a and b? We can use Pythagoras theorem. So we can say by Pythagoras theorem, we shall have the longest side, which is OV squared, is equal to the sum of the squares or the shortest sides of our right-angled triangle. So we shall have a squared plus b squared. And that means that OV is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Therefore, the magnitude of a vector v represented in that form is equal to the square root of the sum of the squares as shown. So we can extend this idea to three-dimensional vectors. For example, if in this case our v was equal to ai plus bj plus ck, then the magnitude of the vector v would now be equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared plus c squared. Let's have an example and see. We are required to determine the magnitude. In this case, we shall determine the magnitude. Find the magnitude and the direction of the vector v is equal to 3i plus 4j. In this case, we can first sketch our vector and see. So this is 3. Then this is v. and this is 4, and the direction is given by the angle theta to the x-axis. Therefore, the magnitude of our vector v is equal to the square root of 3 squared, we have 3 here, then plus 4 squared from our formula. And now this is going to give us the square root of 9 plus 16, which is 25. And this gives us 5 units. Now, for us to determine the direction of v, we shall determine the angle theta. And how do we determine the angle theta? We are given this side as 4, and this is 3. Therefore, we shall use tan theta being equal to the opposite, which is 4 over 3. So theta will now be equal to, when we use a calculator, we get 53.13 degrees. Therefore, the magnitude of v is 5 units, and its direction, or it's at an angle of 53.13 degrees to which axis? To the x-axis.